Welcome to Get Your Mind Right, Boots on the Ground, where we spotlight professionals in the field who have overcome challenges and how they work through them. Their stories offer real-world insights and tips for thriving in today's competitive landscape.
Welcome, everyone, to Get Your Mind Right, the world's only daily video podcast dedicated to merchant services and digital marketing professionals. Now, we've got a little different wrinkle today. This is Get Your Mind Right, Boots on the Ground. And this is going to be a part of an ongoing series here where I'm going to bring people here to you that actually have their boots on the ground, that are doing the work every day. They're going to bring real life customer stories, success, experiences to you. And today I have Whitney Johnson here. She is a relationship advocate with Evolve. Good morning, Whitney.
Good morning.
Hey, I appreciate you joining us today. And, not everyone here that follows my podcast knows who you are. So I thought it'd be appropriate to start with your employment history here at Evolve.
Sure. So I first came on board back in the summer of 2018, actually as an intern. So I did a little bit of odds and ends here and there in every department. So I did that all through my summer and winter breaks during college. And then I came on full-time back in June of 2022, where I worked as a sales administrator for a little over a year. And then I was promoted to the relationship advocate role back in August of 2023. So I've been doing that for a little over a year now.
Well, now, I happen to know that when you interned here, you had absolutely no intention of embarking on a career in this industry. So how do you think that informed or maybe didn't inform your career as it stands today?
Yeah, so you're correct. I needed the credit for college to have some experience at a business, and I had a connection here at what used to be Approval Payment Solutions. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Did not have any intention of having a long-term career, but through that experience, I forged a lot of relationships, and I had a lot of people that invested a lot of time into me, really grew me as a person, and in my professional career, got to know a little bit more about the industry, and here I am.
Okay. Okay. So I know when you came on board full time here, you started out in an administrative role in our lead gen and relationship advocate department. So that's quite a bit different than what you're doing today. And I think you did that for just over a year. Is that correct?
Yes, about 14 months.
Okay. So tell me how that informed you on your job and what you're doing today, or did it inform it?
Yeah, it absolutely did. So really in that role, it's in the title sales administrator. So really doing a lot of stuff on the back end to increase deal count while not being directly involved with the deals themselves. So I got to see a lot about what expectations were as far as like follow-up and relationship management and all of those different things to kind of all the back end things that go into creating these relationships and creating lead opportunities as well. So again, it is very different from what I'm doing now, but it's given me a lot of that experience has informed a lot of what I'm doing currently.
Okay. So what made you decide to take the plunge into this role as a relationship advocate?
That is a loaded question.
That's what I do.
I saw that there was a lot of potential, and I know what my individual strengths and skill sets are, and I saw that this is something that I can utilize my talents and be really successful at it. And I had a lot of people behind me that were supporting me and helping me make that transition, and kind of gave me the nudge to take the leap.
Gotcha. Okay, well, one more loaded question before we get into it. So talk to me a little bit about your college major and how you think that's prepared you for your job and your career and what you're doing today.
Oh, for sure. So I went to a very small liberal arts college. So I've always felt like maybe a little bit inferior whenever people talk about like their college majors and like, oh, I went for business and marketing. And I never had that kind of experience in college. Again, I went to a liberal arts school. I was an English major. So really no kind of formal educational experience in the business world. But as I've gotten into it, I find that I might be at a little bit more of an advantage than folks who did have that particular specific major. So as an English major, I did a lot of critical thinking. I had really a lot of creative opportunities, and I found that that suited me very well in my professional career, just in my communication skills and creativity and how I relate things to people. It suited me very well.
Okay, very good. So, so the business aspects of that, I mean, you had no formal business training at all when you came to this job, so it's all been OJT for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I learn it every single day by doing it.
Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Well, that's good. Well, let's get into it. So here was my motivation for asking you to be on this. You did a huddle. I don't know. It was 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I'm not going to get the topic just right, but I think it was what could be hindering your success. Right. That was the topic of it. It was about salespeople getting stuck and why they couldn't seem to move the ball forward on deals and those reasons, what those reasons might be. So that topic really resonated with me, and I really wanted to take time today and give you really the microphone and let you extrapolate on what those themes were and those topics of the huddle. Can you start with an overview of what you covered?
For sure. So this was actually something that was asked for me to cover by sales support. And really, again, it was things that are hindering your success. So I had to do a lot of really painful introspective thinking to see all of the places where I have failed. And again, with that help from sales support, maybe some places where other reps have failed as well. So, through that painful thinking process, seeing all of those different areas where I've really struggled or seen other people struggle. So one of those first things was focusing on the merchant. So, everyone has different styles and approaches, but really what our industry is, it's seeing what a merchant needs and then finding a solution at the right price to meet those needs. Then a little bit more on that, focusing on you as a rep. So as the value that you bring, a merchant could go with some major payment processor or aggregator, but really focusing on the unique value that you can bring as a rep, whether it's your experience, your knowledge, or the whole big machine behind you. I know at Evolve, our great customer service and deployment team, all of that kind of stuff on the back end that a lot of people really don't see, but it is a huge value add. Beyond that, training gaps. I know this is, especially at Evolve, we have a large array of products and services and pricing, and that is all really confusing, and there's a lot of moving parts here. And really, as a rep, you owe it to yourself and your merchants to be well educated on those things. So kind of bridging that gap there and seeing what you don't know and again, filling in those gaps to make it things that you do know. On the other side of that, your pitch. I know, especially in the era of dual pricing and cash discounting and buyer's choice, as we call it, this is becoming increasingly important. I know back in the day, it was really what folks would call a race to zero, and that frankly just doesn't cut it anymore. You need to have the best products and solutions. And not only that, as a rep, it's incumbent upon you to make that compelling. So making sure that your pitch reflects that. Kind of on that same tangent, making it easy to say yes. You can go through all of these different things, products, pricing, all of that kind of stuff. But maybe you throw out too many options for a merchant. They get overwhelmed, they shut down, your sale ends right there. Or even the onboarding process, we know that there's a lot involved in that, right? You've got to collect paperwork and site pictures and supporting documents, right? We see reps crash and burn all the time, making that too hard on the merchant. So again, making it easy on that front.
So let me interrupt you here. So let's talk about this, make it easy to
Sure.
say yes, because I hear reps say that, they'll go into a merchant and they'll give them like 4 or 5 options. And their position is like, well, that's what my job is. I just want to provide the merchant options and I want to let them pick. What's your position on that?
I think that is a horrible way to approach a sale. There certainly is something to be said with wanting to present options, but I think there's a right and a wrong way to do it. So the merchant, they're not the merchant professional, right? You know the products, or you're supposed to. You know the pricing, all of that stuff. So it's really incumbent upon you to ensure that your sales are question based, to really see what the merchant's needs are, and then it's on you to find an appropriate solution to meet those needs. So most of the time, I don't present a ton of options just because I know what's going to work best for this merchant. But if they do want options, I would present maybe 1 or 2 or maybe 3. I don't know. Really delve into what those differences are and what those differences would mean for the merchant, and provide them with those options on that front. But really making that limited to as really cut down on that frustration and being overwhelmed.
So would it be fair to say that if it works out for your questioning and your understanding, that if there's like really it's clear to you there's one solution for the merchant, that's what you're going to present to them and that's what you're going to strongly recommend?
I would say 9 times out of 10, I present one solution. Hey, this is going to be the best fit for you. If you don't think it's going to be a good fit, maybe I missed something, let me know. We'll pivot. We'll figure something else out. That's how I like to approach it.
Okay, very good. Well, Whit, we ran out of time today. Well, I've still got a lot to cover with you. Can you come back tomorrow and we can chat some more?
Yeah, I think I can fit that into my schedule.
All right, great. We'll see y'all here tomorrow morning.